Hi there. Welcome to Small Business Coffee Break, the video series where we take a few minutes to work on your business, not just in it. Today we talk with Jeffrey Daitz of Hall Booth Smith PC about what the most dangerous thing you can bring into a job interview is. Jeffrey has over 20 years of experience of employment and labor law, so grab a cup of coffee and let's get into it. So Jeff, we've talked a little bit about training managers, and one of the things that came up was interview script. What's an interview script, and what should be in it or what shouldn't be in it?
Well, here, interview script is based upon what? Somebody a manager is interviewing a prospective candidate. They're interviewing somebody for a particular job. So what I always try to tell managers, here's what you go into an interview with, and here's what you don't go into an interview with. You go into an interview with an application, okay? A resume. And the third thing that most people don't go in there with, a job description, a written job description. One thing you do not go in with is, if I may,
Please.
is this. Why? Why is this one of the most dangerous tools anybody could ever take into an interview? I'll give you an example. As a tester, but not just necessarily as a tester, this is a dangerous tool. This is a tool because sometimes you want to memorialize something that took place during a conversation. So let's just say you and I are interviewing for a job. I'm interviewing you for a job, and you tell me, I ask you, why do you want to work for ABC company? And you say, well, you could say, I recently got married and relocated here. We want my children to go to the schools that are about 2 miles up the road. What am I going to write down on the resume or the application? Do you think I'm going to write down all that? No. What am I going to do? Kids. Wife. I'm going to automatically memorialize with this every illegal thing that has just been said. And managers don't realize that pen or pencil, when you go in there, you are documenting an illegal question. So this is a very dangerous tool. So asking somebody information in an interview is critical. That's why having an interview script is the best tool. If I am looking for a job as somebody who is, let's just say, a lawyer, I know what the job entails for a lawyer, right? I'm not interested in the golf ski boating, right? It's more, I'm interested in the blood, sweat, tears. I'm interested in what is it that you can bring to the table. I'm looking for your job experience. I'm looking for your educational experience. I'm looking to see whether you've argued motions, depositions, whether you're good on your feet, whether you've provided seminars. What do I not care about? Everything else. The race, religion, national origin, sexual preference, disability, anything of that litany of laundry lists of things that are protected classes, I don't care about those. But what happens is, invariably, people want to have a dialogue. They want to have a rapport during an interview, and it's a good thing. But what happens is you ask open-ended questions in an interview, which is a very dangerous thing. One thing I tell companies all the time, don't ask, and you always do. There's a time that you and I are interviewing, right? And I'm looking at you, you're looking at me. Let's just say I'm the one that's interviewing you. And I'm trying to think of what other question I want to ask you. Again, I'm not working off a script per se. So I ask that one question. And what is that question that is a dangerous question? Tell me a little bit about yourself. You might find that to be completely innocuous. For an employment litigation defense attorney, one of the most dangerous questions you can ever ask. That's when I was a tester, somebody said, tell me a little bit about yourself. I would throw in as many protected classifications as I possibly could. And what am I watching that person do?
Writing them down.
Okay, and I don't even have to get the job. I can literally, what I would do is I would sit there in the interview and I'd say, you know what, I'm not comfortable with where this is going. I think that you're asking me all these questions. I see you taking copious notes. I don't think I'm gonna even get this job. That's all it takes for a lawsuit. That's all it takes for that person to leave, go to a lawyer and say, I interviewed for a job with Alex. These are the things that happened. I saw him taking notes. He asked me these questions. I didn't get the job. And the next thing is you get a letter saying, hi, I've been retained to represent so-and-so, so-and-so, in connection with his application for employment with ABC company. During the interview, you ask the following questions, and then the lawyer demands copies of the application, the resume, everything else that creates the lawsuit, creates the claim. So having an interview script is something that is a canned set of questions tied to the job description. And again, if you're interviewing, you have to have a job description. You know, you should not just run amok of just doing things I think I know what I'm looking for. I've been doing this long enough, I know what I need. A written job description, again, back to the best practices, the handbook, the policies, a job description should be in there. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for characteristics that would be indicative of whether you can perform the essential functions of the job for which I am looking to hire you. That's it. So the questions really fall in line with that. It could be 10 questions. It could be 20 questions. It could be, give me a specific example of things that you've done in the insurance world that, you think you've offered services, value-added services to your insureds. That's tied to what your job would be here, right? But asking questions beyond this sphere, it makes no sense. It doesn't do anything, perception versus reality. So having canned questions reviewed by counsel, pre-approved, that's the best evidence. That's best practices.
If you have any questions you'd like to ask Jeffrey, I put his contact information in the description. If you have any questions you'd like me to ask Jeffrey or any other professional in their field, my contact information is also in the description. See you next week for another cup of coffee and more questions answered.